What's happening? It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by Fryette Amplification, New York Hardcore Comics, and of course, everyone's favorite, the Organic Grill. What's going on? It feels like a really long time since I've seen everybody. I guess the last show was my big birthday show, which was really fantastic. You know, I feels like it was like a month ago already, you know? That was really great. That was really, really a special show. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Happy Canada Day to all our friends up in Canada. Alexander, what's up? How are you, buddy? Upstate Rick, what's going on? Holding it down in the 518. Chris Hoffman, what's happening? RS70 UHAC, by the way, created this little thumbnail. So thank you for that, brother. James Hollis, been looking forward to this one all week. Rock on, New York Hardcore forever. Yes, buddy. Robert Hogg, where are you, buddy? In Scotland. How are you? You know, after my birthday show and after having, you know, a lot of you on, I feel like, you know, we're really connected and I know everybody now. Like we're all pals now, you know? So what do you got? I love the Biohazard Machine Head concert poster there. Looks great, giving some color to the wall. I'll tell you what, you know, I moved a couple things around, try to keep it lively. I was wondering how long it would take for someone to catch that. I tell you what about this here. You might not be able to see it from here, but that is actually signed by Slayer, Biohazard, and Machine Head. And it also has my laminate from the tour, the Slayer Divine Alcoholics Tour 1995 laminate. So that's signed by Slayer, Biohazard, and Machine Head, limited edition numbered print. So guess it didn't take anyone long to see that, huh, Bernardo? Hope you're well, buddy. Is it for sale? Bro, everything's for sale here, man. Everything, including me. It's all for sale, man. I don't want any material possessions in this world. Honestly, I care not for them. For the most part, I got rid of my records a long time ago, and my CDs and all my hardcore, whatever, man. I want a simple, uncluttered life. This stuff doesn't mean that much to me. But anyway, Steve, you got your A7 shirt? Good, buddy. I'm glad. Hey, where did the Onyx go? I wanted. Oh, it's around the corner. How about this? You want to see something? Here you go. Here's a little something. What's happening? What's up, gang? How about a new angle? A new angle for all you party people, huh? You get to see this is kind of what we're dealing with here. See that? How about that? Never saw that before, I bet. That's been hanging above me the whole time. So, you know, two angles we got going here now. So that said, let's keep it moving. And let's bring on the hardcore shutterbug himself, Mr. Steven Messina. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
Hello.
I like that antidote poster you have behind you there to the side.
It's a Thou Shalt Not Kill Bridge 9 thing, yeah.
Nice, yep. Nice.
Yeah, the cool thing about that mic is I could like the reason I got it, not the mic, the other camera, is I could move it around and do anything with it. So that will come into play at some point, you know.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
What about getting Evan Seinfeld on the show? I reached out to Evan Seinfeld a couple of times. Evan Seinfeld would not come on the show. Not a lot of people talk to Evan Seinfeld these days. I reached out to him a couple of times. We used to be very, very close. You know, he was a pallbearer at one of my family members' funerals. We were that close. and we don't really talk anymore. He's a Hollywood guy, and I haven't talked to him in years. So that's what's happening. Steven, what about let's do picture of the day, huh?
Absolutely. Let's get it going.
What do we got here? Sweet blood clot. What kind of shirt you got there, buddy?
Oh,
nice.
This was actually the last time I saw him was the last time I saw Todd Youth. Actually, was the first night of the tour at Revolution in Amityville, and it wasn't super crowded. It was a weeknight, and apparently the next two nights were these big sold out shows. So the show I was at was actually kind of intimate, and I thought it was really cool.
Well, I know Blood Clot's gearing up to do another record, and maybe we'll get John on and talk about that. But let's.
That'd be awesome. I love that last album with Nick from Queens of the Stone Age and all that. That's a great band. Absolutely.
Here we go. Is it photo of the day or picture of the day?
Whichever makes you smile.
All right. Photo of the day's making me smile.
Image of the day.
Image of the day. Here we go. Anybody out there, feel free to chime in. Let me get rid of these banners. There you go. I don't know who this is. Let me take a gander at it. Is that on the left? Is that Rob Caggiano that used to be in Anthrax?
That is Rob Caggiano. That is correct, sir.
Okay, so here come the all right, Steen's Denmark Boys.
There you go.
Is that right?
I'm guessing yes, because this is a Danish band right here.
Is it Anthrax?
No.
Here comes Steen. Here comes Steen from Denmark. Is it Volbeat?
Give that man a prize.
Yeah. Love that band.
This is Volbeat.
Yeah.
And this was taken at the Paramount in Huntington. And this, I believe, was 2014. And they've gone through a number of lineup changes over the years. When they started, their first four records, I absolutely love. They're like Social Distortion meets the Misfits with a touch of early Metallica and a really good singer. And then the band, I don't know why, but the band, I think there might have been some drug issues in the band where one guy left, another guy left. They got Rob Caggiano, who was producing them. But before Caggiano got into the band...
hold on, stop. You sent me the other picture, right?
Yes, I did, as a matter of fact.
But wait, before we go to the other picture, I want to shout out Stan Rosario, who said, I'll tell Seinfeld to hit you up. I don't know what connection, Stan, you have with Evan Seinfeld, but Stan looks like he's coming on board as an editor for the Stone Brothers' new film, the film that I'm doing with my brother Evan and my father Arnie, executive producing it. So I asked Stan to tune into the show today, since he's going to be potentially editing the film, to sort of kind of see what I'm doing with the show and stuff like that. So that's very interesting, Stan. We have to talk about that at some point. So all right. So wait, the Volbeat thing. You sent me another picture, right?
I did. And in fact,
hold on. Hold your horse.
There we go. I'm holding my horses.
Let me get the other picture. Let me get it up. Can I get it up?
You can try.
Here we go. Here's the other picture you sent me.
Yes.
That sort of is a companion to this one, right?
Yes.
What's the story with this?
This is 2 years prior. This is 2012, I believe. And this is between the original guitar player and Rob Caggiano. They had help from another fellow Danish musician who's pretty legendary. And maybe Steen can guess. Let me see if anyone can guess who this guitar player is. He's very famous, and he's from a very famous, influential Danish band. Anybody?
There's a little bit of lag time, so, you know.
Sorry.
Hold on. So basically the question is, who is this guy?
Yes, he was in the band for a couple of years, basically just helping out, like while they were looking for somebody. And he was great. And he's, again, he's pretty legendary.
Todd Hamilton from Warzone in Arizona says Hank Sherman.
Todd Hamilton is our winner.
Really?
Hank Sherman of Merciful Fate.
There you go. Yeah. You see, the lag time on the show sucks because by the time we kind of sit here looking stupid, it takes a couple minutes, and then Ron Emery, good one, Josh. That's a good one. Golden earring. There you go. That's good. Hey, real quick. All right, you know what? On the Volbeat thing, can we see pictures of Bruce Lee next? Listen, Bananas, we'll get to it. Let me say this real quick of Volbeat. I don't really know. From what I've heard of Volbeat, I've liked what I've heard. I anytime I've sort of been in a club or in a whatever, and they've been playing them on the PA, and I'd be like, wow, who's this? They sound sort of like Social Distortion, they sound like things that I like.
Yeah.
If anybody can recommend something for me to listen to, I will actually listen to. I will actually give it a listen. I think this is a band that I might like. So if anybody can recommend a single Volbeat album that I might dig, then please post it up and I'll look it up. I'll
let them recommend it. I won't say anything.
Hey, you know what? We're doing a lot of jiving this morning. Let's get Rat Bones on.
There we go.
Rat Bones, what's up?
Rat Bones.
I can't hear you, bro.
Good. What's up?
Oh, he's low.
You're low, bro.
I'm outside.
You were good before.
How about now? No?
Sign off and come back on.
I will.
Sign off and come back on. Hey, you know what? You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to do that funny bit. Listen, I don't know if I don't know if now's the time to do it, but I just want to say that earlier today, Steven sent me a picture, and we had a big laugh about it. So let me put the picture up, and we had a big laugh about this today, right? And I said to Steven, I said, yo, who's the dude in the red? And Steven said, yo, the guys in the red on Star Trek always die. And it's so true. Whenever you watch Star Trek and some dude in the red, like that you don't recognize shows up, you can bet your last dollar that in the next scene, the poor bastard's going to get killed, right?
They're like, they need to kill someone, and they obviously can't kill the other three.
Basically, it's they're like victims.
Yep.
They're like, yeah, there you go. Right. Wait, hold on. They're alien fodder. You win, Central Scrutinizer.
That's it.
Oh boy. Functional Idiots had a song about this. Is that right?
Oh, we were just talking about that if somebody did a band or anything.
Really?
Oh, that's funny.
If you look, I ended up getting obsessed about it and searching for it in Google. And on YouTube, there's a YouTube clip of all these dudes in red all linked together getting killed. It runs like 9 minutes. And it's like 35
hysterical.
35 dudes getting killed.
It said like every red death.
Oh,
oh that's so funny.
Shit. All right, listen. Too much
we should recreate this picture with me, you, and Sid and Rat Bones.
Oh wait, Robert Granger, killer joke in Galaxy Quest about that. Really?
Robert Granger, Serial Poets.
Right. Help, I'm a rock. Absolutely. Frank Zappa, Freak Out. Ensign Ricky. Yeah, crazy.
Oh,
All right. Listen, that was funny.
That was good stuff right there.
All right, where's Rat Bones? You back, bro?
We lost him in the bushes.
Rat Bones?
Shh, there he is.
I was face to face with the biggest.
Rat Bones, are you there?
Rappo. You hear me now?
A little bit. You got to be really loud, bro.
Listen, man, let's just run the.
Hey, turn the volume up on your phone, bro. Just turn the volume up on your phone.
That's it. It's up all the way.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Something's.
Let's just run the toy.
Run the toy, bro. Run it.
Run the toy. Listen.
Run that shit, son.
I got to get my phone set up today. I'm outside. Got me? You hear me at all?
Yeah.
All right. So the first thing I got today is I want to say happy birthday to Roger Moret.
Nice.
My brother representing hardcore forever. And we can't talk about AF without this band almost in the same breath. I got these little enamel pins for sale coming up this Sunday at the gathering. $15. Got the little beer guy. We got those. We got two other things and we got one big thing. Give me 1 second. What's up?
Woo!
I got this nice all-out war skate deck.
What is that?
Wow.
$50. $30. Look how fast the prices come down. Look, I got this cool ass gutter Christ board. You see that bad boy?
Hey, Rappos, nobody can hear you, but the toys are dope.
That's all right. Thank you. And right before we get to the big toy today, I'm going to pitch myself. I'm also doing artwork now. I got canvases.
Oh, that's cool.
Whoa.
Coming. This is only $40 a canvas this size. One of a kind. And I don't want everyone to forget I got brand new shirts.
I got one of those.
These are my brand new shirts I'll have for sale July 5th.
Woo!
And now, drum roll. I got these awesome pieces on the streets of New York. This is called Found in the Wild when you get a score like this. I paid a little money, but these toys are hot right now. And we're going to open them. Here, I'm going to open them live on the show. Cause Companion. That's the black. And this is the flayed version. So we're going to open them right here live, okay? Look at that. Look at that. Open, baby.
Wow.
The
Never
unboxing.
Right at day. Look at this beauty. Look at
Wow,
that.
there you go.
Oh, that looks cool.
That's nice.
Yeah. Cause. Very hot
Hey,
art.
Chris, you win with that one, bro. Cause for
Yeah.
alarm. You win with that one, bro.
I'm going to open up the other one. This is the bad boy right here, guys. Oh, I love that sound. I love that sound. Look at that, baby.
All right. Hey, Rat Bones. Rat Bones, we'll talk to you later. All right.
Gonna have to get him subtitles.
I had to listen. I had to take control of the environment. Steven, I'll talk to you in a bit.
You got it.
Yeah, listen. I got to get the horses back in the corral. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by Fryette Amplification, New York Hardcore Comics, and of course, the Organic Grill. The Organic Grill is a vegan restaurant located in the East Village of New York City at 123 First Avenue, featured in New York Magazine, the New York Times, and Veg News. Their dishes have won numerous awards, including Best Veggie Burger. They make their own cheeses, sausages, and burger patties, and every dish on the menu can be made gluten-free. This year, they are celebrating their 20th anniversary, and they are all about having a good time while enjoying amazing clean food. After 3 months of being closed, they're now open for deliveries. Get in touch with them. Order some great fucking food at www.theorganicgrill.com. That's what's up. Also, our good friends at New York Hardcore Comics, which opened back in 2013 when lifelong friends Debo Pro and Lee Fairley combined their collections and obsessions of comic books, punk rock, toys, statues, Magic the Gathering, and all things horror. The store is located at 117 Main Street in Dobbs Ferry, New York. If you want to support them during this pandemic, please contact them via email at newyorkhardcorecomics@gmail.com or any social media channel for an exclusive store package. $20 gets you one of each, exclusive shop t-shirt and sticker, Marvel Comics Venom #1 exclusive cover to New York Hardcore Comics. That's New York Hardcore Comics. Get your shoes and socks on, kids. It's right around the corner. So while we're at it, I want to just remind everyone about a couple upcoming shows. This Sunday, yes, this Sunday, we are having a get-together in Tompkins Square Park. While this get-together is happening in Tompkins Square Park, I am going to be broadcasting the show from inside A7. This is a new flyer for that. We're going to have Dan Nastasi from Kings Never Die, and Dog Eat Dog on, Davey Hooligan from Enziguri. We're going to be bringing people in and out of the show all day. But yes, there was a question out there if we're having a get-together in the park on Sunday, and we are. We are having a get-together in the park on Sunday. This flyer might be a little more familiar to you. Here it goes. This one here might be a little more familiar. So everybody come on down. Proper social distancing will be observed if that's your thing. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. If you want to stick a friggin' candle up your ass, do whatever you want. We're going to be in the park on Sunday, and I'm broadcasting from the show as well. So from the A7 as well. So feel free to come on in to the park, and we'll be there. Also, a week from today, we're super stoked on this one. A week from today, the Kohler brothers and Howie Abrams are going to be on the show talking about their new book, The Blood and the Sweat. So that's going to be a banger. We got the Kohler brothers coming on. That should be cool. And then after that, we have, what is after that? Oh, what's up? Matt Wildcard Henderson, Agnostic Front, Madball, Blind Approach to Eulogy. Matt Wildcard Henderson's coming on the show. We're super excited about having Wildcard on the show. So yeah, good old friend of ours, Matt Henderson's coming on the show. And then last but not least, we got Chris Mills from Mucky Pup, and we're doing a kind of Planet of the Apes retrospective, being that we're all big fans of the show, big fans of the films, of the original films, and we got the Planet of the Apes show, and we're going to have lots of surprises on that one. So that's the Planet of the Apes show as well. That said, let me see what's going on. What do we got here? Yes, Wildcard. Absolutely. Wildcard's coming on for sure. Yep. I'll take the candle. There you go. There's one in every crowd. I got candles. Come on down to the park and shove a candle up your ass. There you go. Please wear a mask. Yep. If you're going to shove a candle up your ass, wear a mask. That's what I'm saying. No shows. Listen, Matt, this isn't a show. We're not doing a show. People are hanging out in the park, and I'm going to be inside the A7 doing this show with the plaque behind me and the window behind me, and you'll see everyone hanging out. So everyone's not hanging out in the A7. We're sort of inching our way, Listen, let's not get into the Planet of the Apes stuff yet, Chris. Hold off on that. Yes, please wear a candle. This is the latest, Mucky, what is it? Mucky Pup and Guar at City Gardens was legendary. John Meat. Well, there you go. Make sure you come on when Chris is on to let him know. So there you go. Another thing I want to mention is my Patreon page. And here is the Patreon link. There you go. That is the Patreon link. Patreon is what enables this show to happen. I want to thank all my patrons. We do private shows for you. I release never before seen footage and photos and special limited edition posters and shirts. And come be a patron. Support this show. Be a patron. It's not too late. He's dead, Jim. Be a patron. There's different tiers. Go different tiers, 96 tiers. Go check it out. There you go. Listen to everybody. So there you go. Please join the Patreon page. Come join us. Join us. Boy, the candles. No one's letting go of the candles thing, man. Get on the Patreon. 2, 5, 10 won't kill you. Listen, it's also the Patreon page is the real conduit. We're doing private shows and stuff like that. Lots of footage being released. So come check it out. Everybody likes free, you know? Free. Everything should be free. What the fuck is this? What is this? San Francisco 1966? Come on. Stop it. I'll join if you have cookies. Yeah. I got a candle if you want one. Anyway, all right. Let's stop the silliness. There's the Patreon page. You know, get with it. Let me get these banners off. Am I forgetting anything? We're going to bring our guest on now. We're gonna have a couple other people later on. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's about that time. Is everybody ready? Here we go. Today's guest is an American vocalist songwriter who plays a wide variety of instruments. He's known for his work as the vocalist frontman for the bands Burn, Orange 9mm, and his current project Ghost Decibels. He was also a driving force in the 1989 New Breed tape compilation and was a part of the New York hardcore graffiti game. Please welcome Queens, New York, Bryant High School represent, Mr. Chaka Malik. What's up, buddy?
What's good? What's good?
What's happening, bro?
Oh man, chilling. How are you? What's going on?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, my pleasure.
So tell us, you know, what's going on? Where were you when this thing hit? Did you have music set up, or you know, how has this thing impacted you?
Yeah, man. So I think the fucking main thing that jumps out at me is that the B&B Bowl, right? Everybody was hyped for the B&B Bowl. Freddie reached out to me, text. He's like, "Yo, can you do this date?" Got with Gavin from Burn. Like, yeah, we can do it. Started to get psyched. You know, Burn. I don't know if people know Burn. We've had a few different bass players and drummers over the years. So we're like, freaking, all right, who's gonna play bass? Who's gonna play drums? All right, it's gonna be fucking amazing. And then next thing you know, it's like, fuck yeah, there's not gonna be any show. So I think that kind of fucking was a letdown, right? Because I love playing the Burn songs, playing with Gavin, and playing the B&B Bowl, right? Always. Because it's a chance for us to fucking all hang out and wild out and have a good time and see everybody. So I think the B&B Bowl, I think it's a major thing that kind of was negatively impacted by this COVID thing from a musical perspective. Is that kind of what you were looking for? Or I can talk about personal shit too, but musically, it was definitely the Burn thing.
Listen, man, you know, we could talk. Hey, look who just showed up, man. Your buddy Freddie Alva, huh?
Oh shit! What up, Freddie?
Freddie's in my neighborhood.
Shouts to Freddie Alva. Shouts to Freddie.
Yeah, Freddie. Yeah. What's happening? What's up, Chaka and Drew? Checking in from Singapore.
Brad, man, what's good, homie?
Have you been to Singapore, Chaka?
No, but I sing and I've been poor before, so I maybe right.
Hey, you know what? Let's just to keep it popping. Here's one of the photos that I pulled, and this looks like this is from the B&B Bowl. Yeah.
Shouts to Aga Harisis who took this pic.
Yep, that's right.
I love this because it just when I look at this picture, it just looks like fucking hell unleashed.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It just looks like fucking chaos. You know?
For sure.
And that's what I like about hardcore, because even inside of that chaos, there's like safety and there's togetherness, and everyone's kind of pushing the boundaries of their expression. And I think that's what got me into hardcore in the first place. And I think this picture does a great job of really highlighting those fucking pieces.
Absolutely. So tell us, like, did you how did music come into your life? Did you grow up in a musical family? Like, how did music come into your orbit?
Yeah, good question. My dad, rest in peace. Yesterday was my dad's birthday. My dad was super influential.
Yesterday was your dad's birthday?
Yeah, my dad passed away this year. We're celebrating.
Yesterday is my dad's birthday.
June 30th?
Yep.
Holy shit.
And, and Roger Moret.
I saw that.
But yes, my dad, who's 87 now, Arnie Stone, who's been on the show.
One love.
Yeah, it's crazy. Our dads had the same birthday.
Woo! I love that.
See? We're practically paisans, bro.
Right? Earlier you said we were paisans. What's the practically piece now? Now you said you called me paisan earlier. Now in front of people, I'm practically whatever. So anyway, so my dad had mad records, mad vinyl. He played trumpet for a little while. And he was really involved in like the kind of conscious Black community. So I ended up going to a lot of like kind of free jazz things and meeting people like Milford Graves. So I was like learning early on about diet and how miraculous diet was. Distilled water, apple cider vinegar. Like I grew up pescatarian and ended up managing a health food store. And I owe a lot of that kind of pathway to my dad and kind of where he was with his kind of thing coming out of the 60s. And kind of writing poetry under the name Chaka, which he then passed on to me. Then my first middle name is after Malcolm X, Malik Al-Shabazz. So I have that name, Chaka Malik, and then I have two other names that I don't really, people don't really know about. But so yeah, like definitely grew up with a lot of music. I would sit on the floor. Yo, what up, Lou? I would sit on the floor in the living room and with headphones and just like listen to records. And the one thing I fucking loved was like gatefold vinyl, right?
Yeah, here we go.
Sitting there like and just popping open a gatefold and just being like, what the fuck? And like reading lyrics and like pulling out inserts and just being like, this is a world right here.
Yeah, man.
And that really got me into music. It really kind of immersed me not only in the music but also in the artist, right? Because it made the artist and his or her kind of personal thing and their interest a part, right, of my experience. Because I was really digging into it, really kind of figuring out like, what is this, right? With the headphones on, my family's watching TV. We're sitting in the same room, right? They're watching TV, and I just have these, COS headphones on, and I'm just like blasting Are You Experienced, The Doors, Taj Mahal. Those were the kind of my favorites at that time. Jazz records like Miles Davis, obviously Max Roach.
There you go.
A record that actually ended up being kind of highly influential to myself and Mark Ryan from Supertouch and Alan, who was in Burn, and later Quicksand.
Which record?
Yeah, I didn't say it yet. It's a record called We Insist, which is an incredible record on the Candid label. Not to get into some Nat Hentoffy shit over here, but Candid was a great New York label. Released a lot of jazz that was listenable, right? It wasn't totally free jazz, but it also had some. It also operated on the fucking periphery enough for it to not just seem like, oh, cool, this is like one of Coltrane's, kind of straightforward offerings, So that record, We Insist, with Max Roach, I think Cannibal Adderley's on it, Abby Lincoln's on it, Baba Latunji's on it. Really, really hard, aggressive record. Abby Lincoln's like screaming like she's in a fucking hardcore band. It's an amazing record. So shit like that, like, influenced me, Mark, all of us.
Wow, interesting. I love the bit, and we've talked about this on the show a couple of times, and I address it in my films, a bit about how, when we were coming up, how vinyl and records and artwork and how we would go to the record store on a Tuesday when it was being released to just get there, and you'd get the record and you'd open it up and you decipher.
You smell it. You smell First of all, you smell that shit. You smell the vinyl. You open up the vinyl. You open up the sleeve, right? And you just smell the vinyl. And like for me, like that triggers so much memory around a new record and like a new experience. I mean, I remember going and getting like the Age of Quarrel, you know what I mean? And like opening and smelling that for the first time, and then you put it on, you're like, holy shit, what the fuck?
Yeah, absolutely. And sadly, I think that that's something that's kind of lost in today's kind of youth culture, is that everything is so digital, and artwork that used to be so paramount, that accompanied the music is now it's really like a afterthought. Yeah, it's a cast off. It's a moot point at best. And when we were growing up, I mean, you went to public high school in New York, right?
That's correct. Yep.
So did I. And and back then it was like, what are you, man? Are you fucking,
Are you a metalhead or?
Meet us at noon. We're gonna fuck up those disco dudes. That's how. God. I went to public school, man. It was like, the rockers hung together, and it was like, check out this, fuck those dudes,
Yeah, music was a huge part of your personality, reflected in your dress, reflected in, obviously, as you shared your peer group. Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah,
absolutely.
Sure. And so tell us how did hardcore come into your orbit?
Yeah, man. So I was watching my little sister. I have three sisters, 2 older, 1 younger, 1 brother. And I was tasked with watching my sister in the afternoon. And so, one day I'm sitting there kind of doing my homework or whatever, and she's kind of crawling around, maybe, 3 years old, 4 maybe or something. And I just hear I'm like, what the? And I go in there, she's screaming, right? And I go in there, and there's a bottle of Easy Oven Cleaner, rolling down the kitchen floor. And she's holding her eyes, and I'm like, fuck. So I called my mom, and she's like, all right, meet me at the train. And she was pissed. So I meet her at the train. We bring my sister to the emergency room. And right before they go in to get treated, my mom had a little kind of music player of the day. And I was like, Mom, can I borrow your music player? And she kind of looks at me and begrudgingly gives it to me. And so I just put it on and I don't know, the shock of the moment and the fear that something might have happened to my sister. I just didn't want to hear anything that I knew, right? I wanted something completely new. I needed a new context at that moment. And I stumbled upon NYU. And it was the new afternoon show. And next thing I know, I'm like, holy shit, what? And it was Scratch Acid Berserker. And I was like, all right, that's okay. And then Minor Threat Saladays came on. I was like, this is crazy. Fuck, what is this? Wow. Next thing I know, they mentioned it's Thursdays, whatever the time was, 9 o'clock, Spermicide and Johnny Stiff, Crucial Chaos. I'm like, oh, well, I'm listening to this shit. This is all me. So I started listening to Crucial Chaos, and that was definitely my entry point into kind of a broader understanding of hardcore.
Wow. That's so you really came at it just sort of by chance, by just kind of going through the radio dial.
Absolutely. What up, Jimmy? Absolutely.
That's really fucking, that's cool. Cause usually,
it's college radio, right? It's college radio, right?
Yeah.
It was college radio, so respect the college radio. And even through that, so once I learned about hardcore, I didn't even though I went to school with Lou, Danny Lordizek went to high school with me, my friends, my boy Sasha.
Right.
We all getting together eventually, right? Definitely shows killer bananas. But I was going to shows solo, and I always rolled solo. You know what I mean? I rolled solo. So I was going to these shows solo and just being fuck, coming home a busted lip, a ripped t-shirt, being yeah, that's just what happened. I promise you it's fine, Mom. And it wasn't until way late in life that maybe a year into it that I was like, all right, yeah, let me include other people in this. It was really personal for me, and I think that's what makes it a lifelong kind of thing for a lot of people, right? Mm-hmm. Because either they have a really strong peer group and a foundation that really vibes and resonates with the music, or it's something they came onto on their own and it really means enough to them that it really kind of solidifies, right? It imprints at a point in your life that kind of stays with you.
Wow, that's really, I did not know that. That's really interesting, because usually it's I had a younger brother and an older brother, and in my school, and that really.
Yeah, no, not really.
So that's wild. So once, do you remember when you started sort of venturing out, what the first sort of hardcore music you saw was?
Yeah, I mean, I ended up, I forgot what my first show was, but one of the earlier shows I found out somehow, because I had bought a hardcore shirt at a show. I went to school. Bobby Stegerwald from the Hoods was in one of my classes, and I became really tight with his sister. So I remember the Hoods played, and that's one of the first shows that I strongly remember. I think because at that point I knew somebody, right? And so I think it was New York Hoods, Trip 6, and Underdog. I think was that show.
Yeah. I could probably find. I probably have that in my archive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's one of my earliest kind of memories of a hardcore show and kind of feeling out of place, but still kind of wanting to be there. And I mentioned this before, but I think one of my favorite kind of hardcore memories from the pit, because I really love dancing, safe diving, and all that shit. But like, so like, I was like kind of like new, whatever, and I'm standing in the crowd, like kind of the periphery of like where the dancing is, like just kind of far back enough to not really get hit, but still close enough to kind of like feel the energy. Right. And I just remember like there was a guy standing in front of me, and I didn't know who it was at the time, right? And I was just kind of like getting into the energy, and I was kind of like just kind of pushing him. I mean, some bitch, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was like, remember, I was 16 years old, right? I'm there by myself. So next thing I know, it was fucking Gingy, right? So this motherfucker, and I'm looking like if you can see me on screen.
From Absolution.
This motherfucker gets low and just goes like this, ba 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 ba, and delivers like 8 like elbows to my gut. And I said, "Oh, I was like, okay, yeah. Now I get it." He singled you out.
He singled you out.
No, I was pushing. He was standing in front of me, and I just kept. He was just like, "Kid, stop it!" And he just like, bah, 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 bah.
That's funny. That's great. That's hilarious. Great. Yeah. So what kind of came first? Was it you getting involved with the New Breed tape compilation with Freddie Alva, or did Burn? What was sort of the first?
The New Breed came first because
tell us about that. Tell us about the New Breed.
I'm sorry. Yeah. The New Breed. So I met Freddie. And Freddie was already way more immersed in hardcore than I was. Freddie had been hanging out for a couple of years way before I was, way more immersed, knew way more people. But me and him kind of connected, became friends. And he invited me to participate. He had a zine, and he's like, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this comp. You want to do this comp with me?" And I was like, "Yeah." And my favorite band at that time, and still one of my favorite bands, was Absolution, right?
Yeah.
And also Collapse was one of my favorite bands at that time. And so I worked on a lot of the art for that, helped to curate. Pay for some of the sessions with him as well. I remember the highlight of that, and I just mentioned this on my homeboy Adam Malik's page, going to the session where they recorded the song that ended up on the comp. That comp had maybe 20 bands on it. And it was really an amazing thing, because looking back at it and the beauty of hardcore, and I think that it's easy to forget that in the days of today's connectivity with social media. Yeah. How I can just reach out to me and be like, "Oh, hey, like I'm a fan of your thing. Like you want to do this thing." It wasn't like that in the fucking 80s and early 90s. It wasn't that easy to just knock on somebody's life and say, "I'm nobody. Do you want to take part in my project?" Like That wasn't really that. It wasn't that easy, And so thankfully, Freddie had a lot of connections. I had some connections, and we both had enough energy and vision, and we had the song sent in to us. I was sitting there in my room, and I was already an audio kind of fanatic, and my dad taught film at PBS, so wow. I was used to having gear in the house, and so we had I had 2 VHSs and an audio deck, and I plugged them in. This I got into the idea of thinking that I could nest or something, so I would take the skate videos that had shit I didn't really like on it. It was okay, but I would want to put near hardcore bands on it. So I don't know if anybody was around back then when there were VHSs and they had the audio dub button. So I would, what the fuck I'm talking about. So I would audio dub like my favorite bands on these hardcore on the VHS tapes of the skating shit that I like. And so when we started to get these songs sent in, I was like, well, Freddie, from doing the thing with the skate videos, I realized that like these all sound different volumes. Some of them are too trebly, too bassy. What if we try to like make them sound similar, right? So we would take, I had a realistic kind of linear EQ, and I would like try to do my best to kind of get them to sound kind of similar. And then we ran off, a master, right? And then we started. I think the first bunch of the New Breed comps we actually did in real time dubs or high speed dubs. And I think subsequently we sent out to have some done, but we did like the Electra set, we did the layout, the stickers on the fucking tapes. I mean, DIY, there's nothing better than DIY for fucking helping you to understand that you can do whatever the fuck you want to do in this world. You can have it.
Absolutely. And the New Breed tape had like, Absolution and Outburst and Life Sprud and Beyond and Fit Hanger and Show of Force. And it was really a real good representation of that sort of moment in New York hardcore, which sort of, in my opinion, would be I'd call that like the third wave of New York hardcore. Like the first wave being like the real early bands, the second wave being like, 84, 85, 86. And this was like, this came out, this was what, like 89, right?
No, it would have been, I think it was
88?
Because Burn came out in 89 and this shit was already out.
Okay.
So 87, 88, something like that.
Yeah,
I think I'm right. Like I have no reason to lie, but I don't remember. But it's definitely before Burn.
Gotcha.
Absolutely.
And so the New Breed tape, gets out there and really gave a lot of these bands an opportunity to get their music out there for the first time.
Yeah, and it really didn't feature like Gorilla Biscuit, Youth of Today, and like the kind of bands that were on Revelation or another kind of established label. It was more about the bands that were kind of up and coming.
Right.
That was really amazing, and I love the fact that it's considered a classic compilation to this day, even though at the time it wasn't like the bands that were selling out, necessarily CDs every Sunday, but it was the bands that we liked and that were fucking important,
Yeah. Absolutely. Somebody just posted this and made me laugh to myself. Anybody remember the Dupe Coupe?
Was that a tape duplication place?
Yeah. Like at the back of the Village Voice, the Dupe Coupe. The Dupe Coupe. Yes, I remember the Dupe Coupe.
Yeah, there were a few of those.
Yeah, for absolutely sure. So, what's up, Rich?
Rich.
What up, buddy? How are you? Just fucking woke up. Well,
Oh, you're late.
Must be some life, man. So let's talk a little bit about how did you sort of transition into I'm in a band? What did that look like, and how did that transition happen?
Yeah, man. So as I shared before, I'm a pretty singular person, and I was just dancing a lot. And I remember I pretty much met almost everybody in hardcore, a lot of people in hardcore, by almost getting into a fight with them in the pit. And so once people established that, hey, this guy is cool, and I was like, oh, these guys are all amazing, I think that allowed me to even go further with my kind of dancing, which was a kind of a combination of, typical moshing of the day, but with some moves that more reflected the kind of my urban thing or whatever like that. A little bit of flair, a little bit of style, my own style. And then from there, it kind of seemed neat for me to have a band, and sadly, Absolution was coming to an end. That freed up Gavin, one of my favorite guitar players ever. And so we just decided to do a band, right? And thanks to Sick of It All is fucking amazing. Sick of It All blessed Burn, and I think Orange 9 maybe with some of our first shows. It's really incredible.
I think I have something like that. Let me find that sucker.
Yeah, those guys, and respect to the Kohler brothers who will be on the next episode, man. Those guys, they were like, yo, play 3 songs, just jump on our equipment, play 3 songs, jump off, then we're going to go on stage to play. They were headlining, so we played to a full house. Amazing. Yeah, that's about right. That sounds about right. Yeah,
the date on this is October 1st, 1989. This is the earliest. Yeah. This is in my archives. This is the earliest Burn flyer that I could find.
That's probably it.
Yeah,
that's probably it. And that was just an amazing experience. And once again, much love to Sick of It All. Respect to Sick of It All for putting us on that. And I like that. Be there if you dare. That's what that shit used to be fucking like. I remember. Right? I was scared to go to shows back then. You know what I mean? You get 3 feet away from just the door of CDs when it's closed, and just the heat alone almost collapsed your chest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shout out to Joe Dowling, the ill photographer.
For sure.
The heat alone. What's do you have a recollection of how hot it used to be in CBs? Prohibitively hot.
I remember things hot. I just remember the sound when you walk through the front door, when a band was playing, and when you would walk in, and from the house kit and the house sound, and it would almost be like they'd be playing down
at you.
It's it reminds me of that scene in Lord of the Rings when when the bucket goes down the well and it goes way down into the earth, and like you'd walk in through the door and like there'd be like this dull thudding sound, and I just remember walking through the door and just like trying to identify what that dull thudding, like who is that dull thudding sound? You know?
Yeah, I mean, I love that menu. I mean, obviously heavily romanticized, but really a fucking sick menu.
So here's another one. I got a question for you about this here. Like,
what is it?
Is this dancing? Is this performing? Are you playing here, or is this a combination of both?
Well, if you're not dancing when you're performing, then not a Burn show. Yeah. That first of all, that was my favorite shirt back then. It was a Stop Live Bird Shoots. But that was Burn playing at ABC No Rio.
Oh wow!
And I think Mundo was on the show. And speaking of SFA, there is Mike Bullshit, who looks like I'm about to kick him in his nuts with the straight ahead shirt. Just for a little context. Wow. The first spin kick. I don't know if I can claim that, but maybe. I mean, the spin kick became prolific in that environment.
You know what's something that we really haven't talked about on the show yet is sort of that ABC No Rio scene. So could you just hip sort of like our people from across the planet on the other side of the pond? Give us a little, like, what was the ABC No Rio scene like then, and what was it all about?
Yeah, so the CB scene was, the heavy kind of hardcore New York hardcore. Yeah, that was Ralphie Boy. The heavy kind of New York hardcore. Sick of it all. Music Today, Straight Ahead. Love Jason Crackdown. Those typical hardcore bands that we know that would be on like a Revelation or some of those labels. The ABC No Rio was more of the kind of pure DIY, photocopied cookbooks and squat livers kind of thing, homesteaders, and really more of that kind of crass, kind of crust punky kind of vibe. And I think what married Burn into that scene was really the discharge like sound that Gavin kind of brought into Burn that really kind of allowed us to be relevant. And also I think idealistically, right? Because where the music is from a lyrical standpoint pretty wide in its scope. What a Squatter Rod, absolutely. Yeah. What I talk about, even though obviously clearly relating to hardcore, is kind of broader. And so you overlay that with Gavin's kind of dischargey kind of thing, and it allowed us to really engage in that scene. And we had a lot of friends in that scene. And also Gavin, I believe, was homesteading or squatting, so that really kind of anchored him in that world.
Yeah, that makes sense. Let me run one. Speaking of Gavin, let me just run. I like to run all these pictures through the shoot here. Here's one that's been around a little bit. Here's a good one.
That was from that first show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No shit.
I believe it was, because you see that I have a soft cast on my arm because I was so excited for the show that I was practicing flips onto my bed at home.
Wow. And
I ended up slicing my hand on the bed frame.
What's funny? I put a picture up like that last one, and people are still people are going on about. It's amazing how people break down these photos. Like, so and like you see like a fraction of someone's head, and they're like, there's so and so, and the whole picture gets like road mapped.
Fuck yeah, absolutely. And I think it's important. Yeah, he is the Les Paul mother. Yeah. He's still rocking that, Paul. It's a great
Wasn't
guitar.
Gavin living in a squat? Well, Gavin is
yeah, that's what I just shared, I think, right?
Yeah. Well, Gavin's it's not a squat anymore. They ended up refurbishing the building, and he still has the place there, and it's fucking beautiful, man.
And he's a pioneer in that sense, respect.
Yeah, I mean, Gavin moved into that place when it was nasty down there, man.
Respect, absolutely, respect. And I've seen the stages of that place, and respect.
Yeah,
a lot of hard work.
Absolutely. Will you hang with me a second? Let me shout out the sponsors.
Yeah.
Yo, what's happening, party people? It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by Fryette Amplification, New York Hardcore Comics, and the Organic Grill. I hope everybody's doing well. Our guest today is Chaka Malik, and from Burn and Absolution. Want to make sure everybody's okay from around the world. Good to see everybody. Hey, you doing upstate, Rick? Just a reminder, we got a few shows coming up this Sunday. I'm broadcasting live from the A7. We got a couple guests coming in, and we are having an informal gathering in Tompkins Square Park. And proper protocol will be observed. You're all welcome. A week from today, we have the Kohler brothers on the show with Howie Abrams, talking about their new book, The Blood and the Sweat. We got a week from Sunday, we got Matt Wildcard Henderson, Agnostic Front Madball, the eulogy. That I'm looking forward to Madball coming on the show. And then we got the Planet of the Apes show after that. I got a couple other things up my sleeve that I'm working on. Listen, a lot of great shit coming up in this show. We're just getting started. We're really just starting to catch our stride here, you know. PayPal and Patreon. Please, if you want to support the show, throw your hat in the ring. Where the hell is that? I always have a hard time finding. There you go. There's the Patreon page. Please come and be a patron on the Patreon page. There's a lot going on there. Also, if it's too much for you to deal with, I got to set up on Patreon. There's a way to do a one-time only button on there. So I got to get that going. In the meantime, there's a PayPal page. If the statistical density of Patreon is too much, feel free to come on PayPal and make a contribution to the show. It's your support and your contributions is what make this show happen. Shit doesn't magically happen. It's magic. You are now. I'm gonna put a spell on you. I put a spell on you, right? Remember that? Birthday poster looks great on the door. Oh, thank you. The birthday, thank you. That was awesome. My birthday show was great. That was really that was something else. So that said, am I covering everything else? Couple shows coming up. I think we're good. Let me get these banners off, and let's continue on our way. And let me clear everything. Just make sure we're good. Clear the deck. Because you're mine. Was a killer show? Oh, yes. My birthday show. Yes, thank you. Yes, Patreon is so simple and safe. That's right. It's simple and safe. There you go. All right. Let's bring Chaka back on. Hey, buddy.
Yo. Hey, just to clear up, I was never in Absolution. I danced really hard for Absolution, but I was in Burn.
Did I just say you were in
Absolution? Festival. Yeah.
Did I just say that?
Yeah, you did. It's okay. I'm not gonna say it, but you know the joke.
Thank you for sparing me. All right, now I feel like a real moron. Oh boy.
No.
Hey,
okay.
You know what? Let me see. Hey, Zum,
No.
Hey, Zum, I want to bring one of our sponsors on. I want to bring Zum from Fryette Amplification, and let's just take a few minutes. Hey, Zum, what's happening?
Hey guys, how you doing today?
Yeah, how are you?
We're good. I was talking to Chaka, and he was asking me a little bit about Fryette Amplification and what's going on. Why don't you let us know, like, what is? Give us a 90-second rundown on Fryette Amplification. What's happening?
Okay, cool. Fryette amps are made in North Hollywood, California, and we make the big guitar amps and also great the power station attenuator, the valvulator GPDI, which I will show you in a second, and so all kinds of stuff to use. It's all tube gear for guitar players, so it can be, for big stages, like we did the back line for the Black and Blue Bowl one year, where we just had a full thing of Sound City and Fryette amps, and then also all the way down to like stuff that you can record at home. And the thing that's like, of course, the Nuns from Antidote uses the Fryette amp and has never blown up a Fryette amp. And he's tried, but he has not succeeded. But yeah, and right now we have the Deliverance 2 heads are out now, which are amazing. We built some before everything got shut down, but we're shipping. We're able to ship goods, and it's a small company, so we're able to be nimble. And there's a lot of stuff going on. We're going to be opening up pretty soon to start production again. And, it's like you want that heavy sound, heavy bands love our stuff, from, the Deftones to, just Roy Lozano and, so many other great bands that are using it. So, yeah, that's what's going on. And we're just trying to keep things going during all these crazy times.
By the way, Chaka, Zum was played bass in Antidote for many years.
Much respect.
He was a big designer behind the Sanzam bass driver, which every friggin' bass player. Go ahead, Chaka.
Yo, I was going to ask you, did I ever meet you in that showroom up by 47th Street back in the day?
At Tech 21, maybe.
Yeah, right.
We run the.
I've been up there. Me and Trainer from Orange and I have been up there a few times.
Oh yeah. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And Orange 9mm, one of the greatest bands. Of course, classic, amazing. And also we played. Did Antidote and Burn do Black and Blue Bowl together that same year, or was that a different year?
That was a different year.
That was a different year.
Yeah.
So I think I was helping with tech stuff or something.
Yeah. No, that year that Burn played, you were backlining something. I remember you were there. Yeah.
Was that with Gorilla Biscuits?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Actually, I filmed it. It's in the New York Hardcore Chronicles film. So yeah.
Some of those shows kind of merge into one for me as well, because there's a lot of bands and so much fun, and it's kind of hard to parse it out sometimes.
Hey, while we're here and while we're partying hard, hey, let's skip. Let's like take a big leap forward, being we're sort of in a tech groove here. Mm-hmm. Chaka, tell us about Ghost Decibels and and what that's all about. I think it would be appropriate here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's awesome. And first of all, I want to say that the Ghost Decibel stuff is really informed by the fact that I played with musicians that are just really fucking amazing. Like from Alan Cage to Gavin Van Black, Alex Napak. I mean, these guys are all world class. Then Sergio, my friend, Chris Trainer, Davide, all these people that really had an understanding of tone and intention. And really marrying those two things together to create a vibe, right? And then when you bring in kind of the influence from my dad, which is more of this kind of play what you feel, kind of a Miles thing, like kind of be who you are, play what you feel vibe. The Ghost Decibel stuff started out with me basically trying to be Bowie, right? Because I love Bowie. I'm like, Bowie's been able to, have a career doing whatever's popping at the time. Not on some trend shit, just being like, yo, you like that music? This is the best version of that. Oh, you like that? This is the best version of that. And so I was like, okay, wait a minute. Like, I'm getting older now. I'm not going to be stage diving anymore, right? That part of my life is probably over. So let me look at something where I can enjoy myself. I can groove. I can feel like the music is sexy. The music is exciting. The music is new. The music smells of something. The music does something. I mean, whether one person likes it or a million people like it, for me, at this point in my life, because there's enough music to satisfy the other needs. Music for me, I'd like it to be new. I'd like it to move me off my square in a sense that allows me to find a new footing. It shuffles me enough to be like, okay, like I have a new point of view. Kind of like I've been going on these long walks with people, and the feedback's always the same. The feedback is that, wow, like I feel like I have kind of a different context. Not like you're a different person, but something opens up when you hear new music that's different. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. I don't really care about that to a degree. but it gets you to kind of feel things, look at things a bit differently, and just kind of refresh kind of your musical experience. I realized, I don't know if you guys can relate to this, and the audience can relate to this. I realized at a certain point, I wasn't even really listening to music. I was remembering music rather than listening to it. Two different things, right? You're sitting there, a song's playing, and you're singing it. You're singing it, but are you listening to it, or are you listening? Or are you remembering it? When you're actively listening to something, the way we're listening to each other here, that's different than like an oldie song on the radio, and we're kind of singing in the car with the windows down. That's not the same thing as listening. That's remembering, right, and plugging into an emotion, a time, place. So the stuff I'm doing now, I want people to listen to it, right? Because I want to listen to shit. That's what invigorates me, because there's enough music for me to remember. You know, so the Ghost Decibel stuff spans from like kind of Bowie-ish to kind of late 70s to kind of now where I'm trying to allow it to be. Then I was influenced by Depeche Mode and The Cure and some other folks, and now I'm just trying to kind of let it be more modern. I'm not a fan of today's hip hop. I just fucking hate the message. I hate the fucking message of today's hip hop. You know, that's why I like hardcore. You know, because at least hardcore enables you to fucking do something. Today's hip hop, I feel like, tries to squash you into this ball of hating this person, hating bitches, hating somebody who looks like you, shooting somebody that looks like you. It makes me fucking sick. You know, I'd rather listen to fucking hardcore. I'd rather wild the fuck out to Madball. I'd rather wild the fuck out to Gorilla Biscuits, right? Because at least there's a catharsis there that's not predicated upon hurting someone else, right? So for me, the music, I want to make, long story short, I'm horrible at short synopses, as you can see. But so I want the music. I want the music to really enable, first of all, myself to feel like I'm enjoying life. There's some sexiness in life. There's some newness in life, and I don't really know what's going to happen, right? That there's something that could happen that could be great. Miracles can fucking happen, right? I want different tones. I want different sounds. Like I love the Deftones, and I love how they're able to bring, some kind of new wavy approaches to really heavy, disgusting tones that just like when you're in an arena and you're even on the side of the stage, you're like, what the fuck? It's so beautiful. Just the disgustingness of the tones with the beautiness of the melody and the rhythm. And next thing you know, like you can't even tell what's good or what's bad. You're just in a dreamland. That's what I love about music. That catharsis, that make me forget I'm listening to a song, right? Take me out of myself. Make me forget that oh shit, I like that. I gave minutes of my life. Take me out of that. I want to forget. I want the song to stop. Oh shit.
Does Ghost Decibels play live?
There's a wild bear shit in the woods. No, you know, Ghost Decibels. I don't know if it's a wild bear or a wild pig or the wild boar, but I was.
Does a snake have an ass?
You know what? That sounds like a candle question, right? Remember the candle?
Bring the candle thing back.
Or a snake.
Right.
I'd love to play live. I don't really know what that looks like. I did one or two live shows. I thought they were underwhelming, just because, not underwhelming from a performance aspect. They were underwhelming just because I'm still figuring this shit the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I had two wonderful women dance with me, one of whom I ended up in a long-term relationship with. What up, Dus? I ended up in a long-term relationship with. The other one I still kind of collaborate with now. So the Ghost Decibel thing is always about like, you know, music and art. So I'm hoping that I can pull something together that marries those two forms maybe more magnificently than I have in the past, to keep it a buck.
Well, it's nice to have an outlet like that, a personal outlet.
Well, yes.
You know,
on the Ghost Decibel, so can I share something real quick?
Yeah, sure.
All right, first, my man Chris RWK shouts. I got mad Chris's in my life that do dope shit. Much love to Chris. And then also, we're gonna be rocking these. My homie had just made this for me just out of love. This Ghost Decibel shirt.
Oh, those are cool.
People were like, "Yo, I want this shit." So after the show, we're gonna put up a link, and for 2 weeks, we're gonna let people grab them. Made them real cheap, like $15. So if you want that design, you can grab it. The link will be up after. So shouts to Chris. Shouts to both Chris's. And yeah. Chip, what up, homie?
Yeah, right. There you go. So cool. Neil, you know, thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, man.
And,
great, you know, and I just want to say, like, you know, that's like there's hardcore and there's so much more, and there's so much more that we can all do musically. And it seemed like what you know, what's going on with John LaMacchia, for instance, has a new project that's totally different, and it's really great. And I think that it's really an important thing for musical expression. And I keep on doing it. I got my gear. I've been playing through all of this. It's so healthy, and it's so great to keep on going.
Yes.
Of course, Drew's done all kinds of interesting things too with the Hit Squad. So we got to keep going, keep growing.
I think part of it. I think in the early days of when I was a teenager, we got into hardcore. Things were very regimented, and I think it's safe to say for a lot of the younger people coming into the scene, things are very regimented. But I think there's a lot of people sort of our age and a couple generation or two younger or whatever, where things loosen up a little bit, and no one's going to say, "Hey, Drew Stone, what are you doing? You're a hardcore guy." So I think, and especially a case in point with the show is that people are in it, and whether we have a Vinny Stigma on or a Hollywood actress who has her roots in early Boston hardcore or whatever, people are along for the ride, and I feel like musically, it's great when you have people that are with you along for the ride.
Right on.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'll sign off.
All right.
Great
I'll see you later,
guys.
Zump. Thank you for your support of Fryette and Sound City, and I can't thank you enough, bro.
Great. All right.
Talk to you later.
Peace,
Bye.
man.
Yeah, man. It's my dude. That's my dude right there.
Yeah, man. Innovator.
Yeah, listen, he was always into that stuff, and he's like one of my oldest friends, and he was in a band, he was in Antidote for many years until it just didn't make sense anymore. Wife, kids, and he just didn't want to get in the van anymore. Which
right.
that happens.
Joe James, you're 100% right, yo.
Yep.
Your comment.
How you doing, Joe? I hope you're well. Let me think what else we got here.
Can we talk about Orange 9 a little bit?
Yeah, thank you. Let me. I was going to go to questions, but yeah, thank you for.
You want to show any of those pics I sent you, or not really?
I'm digging them out, bro.
No shit.
Help me help you. Hey, you know what? One more burn picture, which I don't think you've ever seen. Okay.
Oh shit.
Because people from around the world send me stuff,
Okay.
And this is one of the things that was sent to me. Get a load. This is a burn shot, and I'll leave the rest to your imagination. Get a load of this.
Wow. You see Toby back there, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's early on. I'm rocking an Augustus Pablo shirt.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit! You know what's crazy? That's my father. Do you see you see right under where it says Gilligan's Revenge?
Taking the pictures?
Yeah, I think that's him.
Wow.
Holy shit. Shit. There's the video from this is on YouTube. If you go on YouTube, type in Burn Live CDs, you'll see there's a bunch of versions of this.
Wow, that is awesome. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, my man Ian Love in the Red, who played in Burn for a little bit. He played in Rival Schools for a bit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is fucking killer. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
How cool is that, huh?
That's fucking hard, man.
I have another one. I have
Let's
another one. I have another one from that roll. Hold on. Let me find that sucker. Where is the other one? Oh,
wow.
This one's badass too. This is this one's even better. Get ready.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Bam.
Same show.
Yeah, same
Alex
show.
Napak, Gus Pena, Bill Spector in the background next to Gus with the red shirt.
Oh yeah.
Danny Too Soon with the black shirt. Wow.
Crazy.
That's crazy. And you see how many people on stage? That was the beauty of CBs, because CB still had great sound. And one quick kind of delineation between CBs and ABC. CB's had wonderful sound and an actual stage, where ABC was more of like kind of a makeshift PA and really no stage.
Yep.
Wow. And you can see just how hot it is in there.
Yeah, right.
You look like panting fucking dogs.
You can feel, Toby Morse up front.
Yeah, and that's who that Bill Spector has his hand on Toby's shoulder.
Oh, Bill Spector.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow is right.
Oh, wait. Gus Discipline.
Exactly. That's correct, Linz. That's correct. That's Gus Pena. Yep, that's correct.
I don't think these have never been seen before. These were like, every now and then I get somebody like, I was visiting, I'm from France and I was visiting New York once for a weekend and I shot some shots and they've just been sitting here. They've just been sitting there. Do you want them? I'm like, yeah, here's my address. I have like an incredibly deep archive of this stuff. I mean, because of doing the hardcore films and everything else and the page, I think, God forbid when the day comes where I pass, I'm going to leave my archive for like some college. I have such a deep archive of stuff,
Wow. Are you archiving it in the actual meaning of the word, where you're kind of giving each image a number and indexing it? Okay.
Yes. I'm perverse when it comes to that. I like.
Hey, I don't want to hear about your sexuality. This is not the time or the place for that. Okay, calm down. It
happens quick. So, so let's get rid of that and let's talk about. Let me find a good. Well, I want to send one of the shots that you gave me to kick off the conversation about Orange 9mm. So
now wait, those shots I sent you are not Orange 9 shots, the ones that Nick Rock took.
Oh, they're not?
Those are post Orange 9.
Really?
100%.
Okay, we won't go there yet.
Okay.
So we'll do our Orange 9. We'll do Orange 9. Oh, I thought that was like, okay. All right. So let's talk about Orange 9. Let's use this photo to kick it off.
Okay.
This one's that's been around a little bit. You look a little desperate here, but
I am desperate.
So
rest in peace to my man Jaya. Rest in peace to Jaya from Adrenaline. I used to love Jaya. Jaya and I hung out on the Warped Tour all the time. He was an ill skater, illest style, never wore pads, smooth as all. I mean, just smooth. I'm not even. It's just smooth skater, vert skater. He challenged me with my skating. I remember there was one time when like there was a big blue recycling kind of tub, and Jaya's like, "Yo, ollie that shit." I'm like, "Yo, Jaya, I can't ollie that." He's like, "Dude, you can do it. Just try it." And I did it. And I love Jaya. We'd always hang out. So this is after that first Warped Tour. That looks like CB's or something possibly. Or is that no? Take that back. I don't know where that is, but that's definitely Adrenaline. That's Jaya's brand, and that's right after that Warped Tour, judging by my hair. And that was when Orange 9 was really kind of building our momentum. We went from kind of doing the Warped Tour, then kind of rocking small clubs. I just remember like those shows were so intense that sometimes just to leave the venue, I would have to like ride the crowd to get out of the venue.
Wow.
And those shows are great because the thing that I really loved about Orange 9. Go ahead.
Let me back you up a little bit.
Back me up.
For the uninitiated, tell us how Orange 9 like came to be.
Yeah,
how it came to give us the setup, how it came to fruition.
You got it. So around 94, I guess, Burn was coming to an end, and Burn was doing a weekend, a Northeast weekend, typical weekend that you do where you play like Boston, Connecticut, Rhode Island kind of thing. And on the way up there, I purchased a hatchet, maybe yay big or something like that. And I brought it out on stage, and there's some pictures of it. And I was wilding with this fucking hatchet. And
a hatchet.
A hatchet. I don't know what possessed me to do this. Thankfully, no one was hurt, including especially my, everything. So anyway, wilding with the hatchet, right? And so I meet Chris Trainer at the Connecticut show.
Mm-hmm.
And it had already kind of was in the cards that Burn was kind of on its kind of last legs and stuff like that. And folks had said, "Yo, you should meet Chris." Chris was in a band called Foundation with Taylor, who ended up in Orange 9. I believe Larry Gorman, who ended up in Orange 9, was I think Larry was in that band maybe. So once Burn was done, me and Chris just started getting together, kind of playing guitars, coming up with kind of vibes, and we decided that we wanted to kind of sound like or feel like a cross between 3 bands, and those bands were Screaming Trees, A Tribe Called Quest, and Smashing Pumpkins.
Wow.
And I think that we successfully brought that vibe, because I think the one thing is all those bands are willing to be serious, but they're also willing to be a bit vulnerable, right? And to be a little bit fun in their seriousness. And I think that Orange 9 accomplished that. Orange 9 put out an EP on Revelation that we just re-released, which you can grab now, which is great. It's like a rhino colored vinyl. And homie Dean's Nuts did a dope shirt for us that we just released, so you can check that out if that makes sense for you. Did the Warped Tour, which was really amazing, and really kind of cutting my teeth playing on bigger stages.
What year was that?
95. And I just remember those shows were so crazy. Just fucking, I would just come out on stage, just be like, Orange 9 is the boo, boo. I mean, just explicative-filled rants. And then we start, and fucking shit went crazy. And people were bugging out because we weren't even known at that point. But we just brought mad fucking energy. We were selling mad shirts. It was amazing. So then you translate that energy into smaller venues. And you see, like, Pay56 has, I think, a video that he put out. There's another video with Syracuse show where it's just people just bouncing and just having fun. Like, but it's still aggressive, but just fun. And that's the part about Orange 9 that I like, that if there was something to kind of reintroduce to music that I would be open to doing. Because I like the danger piece in rock. There has to be some danger in rock, right? That's why it's rock, right? But there also has to be a little bit of trust in rock to a degree, if you want that, and excitement. And I think that the Orange 9 shows kind of brought that thing where you could get in there as a guy, a girl, or whatever, and kind of lose yourself in the energy of the pit, with everyone kind of sharing the same intention of just fucking being like, I'm just gonna lose myself and just have fun. So that's really about
a question from our friend 90s Music Fanatic. How'd you come up with the band name?
Good question. So we thought about energy. We thought about the kind of burst of energy that we wanted to kind of portray or let out, deploy out, right, to folks. And that energy felt to me like something that was obviously like a shot from a gun, but then also not a bullet designed to kill, but maybe more of a resonance, right? And I remember Jimi Hendrix had a song, Axis Bold as Love, where he says, orange is young for the daring, but very unsteady for the first go round. Nice. Right? And I was like, I like that, right? Because that's what youth is really about, right? Mm-hmm. And so you're combining that immense power behind the 9mm with that energy of, holy shit, we're doing this. Oh, fuck. Okay. I guess we just got to keep going. Like, okay, let's make and just kind of spinning and building momentum into your life. Like, that's what Orange and Light, that's where the name comes from. Wow, listen, I'm a big Hendrix, fanatic. So that's I am. I'm a big Hendrix fanatic. So that's awesome. I did not know that. Let's field a couple questions, because you have you have almost done, aren't we?
You have a.
How much time do we have left?
How much time do you have left?
Hey, let's rock for a minute. Let's rock.
We got. Listen, I could go on for a little while longer. I also want to bring Rat Bones on and Sid and say hi to them.
Fuck yeah.
Let's grab it. Let's hear from a couple of questions. Let's get a couple of questions. I saw another one that I liked. Where did I see that? I like this one here. Which A&R reps signed Orange Millimeter to Elektra? Orange 9mm Elektra.
Mike Gitter.
Mike Gitter strikes again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you did a little EP on Revelation, then Mike Gitter came around, and Mike Gitter, weren't you on East West first?
Honestly, that was kind of a late. It was an alley-oop really with Gitter. It was more like Jason Flom and Mike Gitter that signed it, that brought it in. Yep. And then we got handed over to Sylvia Roan, I guess, because I'm black and it was supposed to be an urban thing or something. That's not a diss.
Sylvia Roan, I remember her well.
But they thought it would be a better fit for East West, so that we ended up going there.
Who do I remember? There was somebody else on East West at that time. Was it Pantera? No, somebody else was on East West. I remember. Anyway,
I think I know who you're talking about, but I'm fucking spacing it.
Yeah. So okay, so Gitter does the alley. Gitter, and you end up on East West and Elektra.
East West Atlantic Elektra.
Yeah, and you went and didn't Dave Jordan produce the record?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's heavy duty, bro.
Can I tell you a quick story that Dave told us?
Please do.
All right,
that's why we're here.
We recorded at Dave's studio, right? And Dave was like, it's like early on, he's like walking around. There's all this kind of these cabinets kind of built into the walls of the studio. And he's like, hey man, yeah, so Marvin Gaye recorded a lot of records here, and what they would do is they would have parties, and they would all, do whatever they use whatever stimulus or stimuli they chose. And he talked about how that there was all the stimuli in these cabinets in the walls just forever that just was there or something like that. So like he said, there would be parties in the control room in the studio, and when you hear like those records and you hear people, those were people that were in there enjoying the time with Marvin, So that was pretty crazy to be in a studio where that kind of history, occurred.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I was around Dave Jordan a bit. He produced a Biohazard record.
Okay.
And he did a Biohazard record called Mata Leo, which kind of turned out to be a little bit, like a three-legged dog for them, being that they sort of lost their guitar player and then went on to do a record with him as a three-piece, But working with him, nice guy. I mean, he was involved with all that social distortion.
Jane's Addiction.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Alice in Chains.
And now he's involved with all the soundtracks to the Avengers movies.
Oh, is that what he's doing?
Yo, every one of those Marvel movies, man. Like,
wow, good for him.
Yo, every one of those big. I mean, he's been involved with a straight face, I could say, the biggest films that have ever been made on the planet Earth. You know
what's crazy? That might be a running theme because, and also shout out to Brian Kyler, who was assistant engineer, great engineer in his own right, who worked on those records with us.
What was the name?
Brian Karlstrom.
Was it the one in Hollywood?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. It's I was there. It was not Renegade or something.
No.
Some cowboy. Something.
I don't know if it's Cowboy.
Not Cowboy. What the fuck was the name of that studio?
I'm confusing him with another studio. But Dave Sardi, who ended up doing the second Orange 9 record with
another
us,
great producer,
who ended up doing Mad soundtracks too.
Yeah.
Doug
Here's another
Sardi.
one. Doug Sardi. We're gonna take a few questions.
Let's do it.
Fast and furious,
Let's do it.
Our friend Nick Black Sabbath. Who's Chaka's favorite poet? I hear a lot of poetry in his lyrics.
Khalil Gibran.
Okay. Any background to that, or
I grew up with The Prophet as a book and a soundtrack, and for those that fuck with soundtracks, that record is narrated by Richard Harris, which this is my government last name. I believe it's Richard Harris that narrates it. That's an incredible record. You really hear the power of the poetry, really, really, really supported by the music. To me, it's otherworldly.
Gotcha.
The Prophet record. Mm-hmm.
Our friend Dale Starr says Orange 9mm.
That's correct.
We're on the last Biohazard UK tour just before Bobby left, and then they did the record with Dave Jordan. So there is a bit of a You
want to hear? I'll tell you guys a quick story. The less poets, you mean, not the less prop. The less poets, Central Scrutinizer.
There you go.
A quick, real funny story from that tour. So we're in Germany, right? And the way any band that's from America that's never been to a red light district does, you ask the concierge in the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, like, how do we get to the red light district? And he goes, the red light. And I was just like, holy shit! I'm like, this dude is wrapped up. He was like, I mean, he had to loosen his collar. He literally said,
just to give you the answer, right?
Just to even think about it, it like brought him back to like, oh, the red light. And he said,
was that Hamburg or
I think it was Hamburg.
Love the Hamburg red light district. Come on.
Well, you walk through it. I don't really know. It could be any red light district, but it's just mad funny.
Especially love the Reeperbahn in Hamburg. Big favorite of mine back in the day. Amsterdam's Amsterdam, but we used to have a lot of fun in Hamburg back in the day. Listen, It is what it is. It's rock and roll. You know what?
It is what it
Go
is.
figure. We were doing rock and roll, and we were going into the red light district. Oh yeah, and look who chimes in. One of the guys that I know.
What up, Lou?
And it just so happens it was the Sub-Zero tour.
There you go. He's self-identifying.
You know what? Well, he was there. It's funny. It's funny. We have these lurkers that watch the show, and then they so bad, but then something happens, and they just have to laugh.
Lou DeBella is just like the guy saying, "The red light." It anchored. It resonated.
Lou knows. We told a crazy story when Lou was on the show about being in Amsterdam when we got jumped. Someone tried to rob us at gunpoint, and there was it was I mean, not to get into this story again, but there was a crazy moment where I was looking down the street and I see some guy with a gun, and Lou's got his wallet chain that's attached to him, and the guy's got the wallet, and we're yelling, "Just give him the wallet!" And they're doing a tug of war, and the dude's got a gun.
Wow.
It was crazy. You know how it was crazy.
Absolutely.
It was crazy. Chaka, best on the road war story? Is there anything that? Story. I mean, I know there's a lot of them, bro. You clocked in a lot of hours. Is there anything that? I mean, you mentioned the Warped Tour. I mean, that must have been a real thrill because that's really when the Warped Tour was really popping, right?
Well, I think depending on what band you ask, whatever years they were on, is the years that it was popping. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just to be fair. But that 95 was like Civ, Quicksand.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Sublime, No Doubt.
Who was sort of the big banger?
No Doubt. Honestly, 311 was on some shows. I mean, Quicksand was kind of the assumed headliner, I believe, for a lot of that tour. Wow. And then we had some regional headliners. 311 headlined some of the dates in Cali, and I believe No Doubt, who they weren't quite the force they ended up being when they were on that tour, but they were still big. Sure.
Hang with me.
And Sublime was the biggie. Sublime.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Sublime is they're a beloved band, man.
Yeah, we shared a bus. We shared a bus with Sublime on that tour.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting one from our friend Blenderhead Brian. Was there any other people into punk and hardcore in Bryant High School back then?
Of course.
And wait, I have a photo that accompanies that.
Oh, okay.
I have a photo that accompanies this question. You ready?
Let's see what it is.
How about that, bro?
Oh shit!
All right.
I mean that's when pizza was delicious. I think that was at a pizza spot. That was Astoria Lou, obviously hardcore. Lord Ezek, Danny Diablo, obviously hardcore. Sasha Jenkins, obviously hardcore. My homegirl Martha.
That's where this photo came from. Martha took this photo.
Yeah. Somebody from Stand Proud, I think, went to Bryant.
Did Freddie go there? No, Freddie went to Aviation, right?
Yeah. Obviously, Bobby from the Hoods, Bobby from the New York Hoods, Bryant High School.
What about Joe Songo? Didn't he from Outburst? Didn't he go to Aviation too?
I don't know. That's outside my. We had beef with Aviation theoretically.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Don't ever mention Aviation. I'm kidding.
Yeah, no. So a story Lou said Bobby. So
yeah, Bobby from the Hoods.
John Bowles. St. John's.
Did I have school with him? No.
Here we go. Chime in, Lou.
Yeah, Lou's the historian out here.
Yeah, Lou would know.
Lou has a better memory.
Yeah, you always have to have, we got beef with the fucking Aviation kids.
But we didn't really have beef with them. But I mean, in all these Queens high schools, there was always some supposed bullshit.
Oh, Joe Songo went to St. John's. Okay, I got it. Right. I got it. I got it. Yeah. So, all right. So that's a good rare high school picture, huh?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Best pizza in Woodside, Astoria.
Politos on fucking Steinway Broadway.
I think Polito's closed, bro. I just because me and Lou were on the beach the other day, and I think it closed. Freddie Albert chiming in. we had Joe Bruno at Aviation.
You see, to speak into the faux beat, he's like said we, right? He's turning himself off to the side away from
right. Brian Macca, what's your favorite skateboarder growing up? Were you?
Oh man.
You know what we did? You know what we didn't touch on? And I know we're sort of painting in wide swaths here, but but it's kind of sometimes that's how you have to do it.
Honestly, I like Mike Vallely. That board, I started to ollie like maybe a foot higher after getting that Vallely board. You were
really a part of the skateboard and graffiti culture. Can you give us a little perspective on that?
Yeah, and the picture that you're looking at now looks a bit limp from the spray. Put the pic back up for a sec. It looks a bit weird from because you can see that it's like, okay, well, this motherfucker nobody's doing, and the shit's like there's no paint in it. Like that was a found can. We were doing Gavin and I were doing a quick piece for a magazine right when Burn got back together a few years ago, and that can was up there, and I just tried to catch a burn tag with what was left in that can, which was basically a fucking dead can.
Got it.
But I got into graffiti before. No, I was in skating. I was in graffiti. I was trying to write graffiti, and then by the time I was kind of in high school, I had met this guy Taboo, who was a white kid who was in art and design, got kicked out of art and design, and he sat next to me. I see he had dope outlines, and he basically he gave me my first kind of guidance around graffiti, doing kind of wild styles and shit like that. So once that started to happen, then I met Sasha, and with Sasha got me into skating, and obviously skating and graffiti kind of go hand in hand. And I used to write Expo, and I had a crew called RAR. And I have a funny story. So there was one night, we used to bomb trains at 36th Avenue in Queens. That they used to park N's or R's there. They keep switching them back and forth. So I don't know what people what that train identifies as now. Mm-hmm. But whatever was stopping at that 36th Avenue station. And so it was me, Free Five, who's a wonderful visual artist. And we went down there, and we had maybe 3-4 cans apiece. And we ran into some other heads that we knew. And we jumped down. We started catching tags. It's like a Friday night. And I'm like, yo, Fred. I was like, yo, we got to fucking go, man. We got to go. He's like, yo, Chuck, what? I want to do. I was like, yo, Fred, trust me. I just don't like this. We have to go. So
You just had that feeling.
Yeah, man. So I started jumping back on the platform, and Freddie's like 11. I'm like, Freddie, let's go. I mean, Freddie was 13 or some shit. Freddie was like a few years behind me. So he was he was like a little, very young. Right. So Freddie jumps on the platform, and as soon as Freddie jumps on the platform, and we're running down not running, but jogging down the stairs where you would leave any station, there's cops coming up the fucking stairs. And our cans are jiggling in our fucking, so I mean, it was crazy, dude. It was crazy. Yeah. So we basically, I don't think anybody got caught that night, thankfully. But there was another time we were bombing 2s and 5s. We were supposed to meet up this kid that wrote Image, not Image WKS, another Image. And he never showed, right? And so we're sitting there, this is at Utica. And I'm like, fuck, yo, Freddie, we didn't come all the way out here for nothing, right? So we jump down onto the tracks, and we crawl up onto the catwalk, and we're catching tags. I had bought a Mini with me, which there was these markers called, there was a Uni, which is like super fat. There was a Mini, which was actually very, so I had my Mini, which was a lot of money. I didn't have money to spare to waste on a Mini, but I had bought a Mini. And I was writing. Our friend was writing with it and dropped the cap. Right, so I was like, all right, let me.
What? I don't know that term.
A mini. He dropped the cap to the Mini.
Okay.
Right, so it would have died, and I couldn't afford that at the time because it was like whatever, $5 or something I didn't have. So I shimmy down in between the train and the catwalk, and I'm on the gravel, that kind of loose manufactured gravel. And I'm kind of feeling around for this cap. And Freddie's like, Chaka, look. I'm like, I am looking. He's like, no, look. I'm like, I'm fucking looking. He's like, no, look. And he points, and there's a fucking work bum running towards us. And a work bum is, somebody that works in transit. They're usually big enough to contain you and restrain you, which would mean a lot of sorrows for me or problems for me in my home life because I wasn't supposed to be there.
I never heard this term. A
work bum.
It's like
somebody that they work for transit. They could be anybody. They could be a conductor. Could be anybody. But we used to call anybody a work bum.
I see.
And if they obviously had a uniform on, you knew that they were, the motorman or whatever. But the work bum was anybody that was, just somebody that was just kind of working in and around, usually underground, right?
Right.
So this work bum starts running towards us, right? I'm like, holy shit! So I shimmy back up onto the catwalk, and running. I'm like, Freddie, go. Like, Freddie's in front of me because he had a head start. We have like backpacks, it's like black books. We're expecting to meet writers, right? And like banks and like get into a whole thing. So we're running. This motherfucker's chasing us. And between, I think it's Utica, it's like Kingston, Utica, I'm forgetting the exact order. But something happened where for us to keep going, we had to avoid getting out of the next station. So we ended up having to run what felt like almost like, God, it felt like a mile. Probably was like nowhere near that. I fell one time, cut my fucking hand open. By the time we got to like the point where we could climb out and try to exit, we were like pulling ourselves up, like we were exhausted, right? And we got away. The guy somehow stopped. I don't know when he stopped chasing us, but we got away. And like we're in like Brooklyn, in the middle of Brooklyn, and we're just kind of looking around. And so we go and we just like, yo, let's just go hide, right? So we meet, like, I was whatever, 16, maybe 15, 16, and Freddie's like 13. So like we go and we hide in this.
This
like,
is, excuse me, Freddie Alva says that's Freddie Free 5 you're talking about, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes, it's Free 5. Not Freddie. Freddie Alva doesn't write graffiti.
Right.
No,
he just makes books about graffiti.
Freddie's smart. He makes the books. He avoids getting dirty. So just really quick to finish that story. So we ended up, we went to like this kind of a deli, like a fruit sandwich deli, and we were like hiding in there. And basically the shopkeeper,
we were hiding in there.
Dude, I mean, the worst thing at that point would have been getting caught. Like,
yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? I feared my parents more than the fucking cops at that point. So like, get out. So we went to a McDonald's and like, so there was like a young African-American lady. She just looked at us and like, we didn't have to say anything. She just reaches down, she pulls out the keys, puts them on the counter, and she says, go get cleaned up. We were like, thank you. And we went, got fucking cleaned up, and like walked like a mile to like another train line, and then went home. Wow. But that shit was fucking crazy. Work bumps, exactly.
Wow. That's great.
It's crazy.
Let me, we're winding it down here. Let me shout out sponsors. Let's bring on Sid and Rat Bones to say hi. Yeah. We'll take another question or two. So hang with me a second. It's the New York Hardcore Chronicles Live, sponsored by Fryette Amplification, New York Hardcore Comics, and now the Organic Grill. I hope everybody's well out there. Thank you for watching today's show. Our guest is Chaka Malik of course, Orange 9mm and Burn and Ghost Decibels. So it's been a great show. And let me think what else. We got a couple great shows coming up. Sunday's live from the A7. Hope you could tune in. We got a couple of guests coming on. We're also doing a get-together in the park. A week from today is the Kohler brothers, Lou and Pete from Sick of It All, along with Howie Abrams, talking about their new book, The Blood and the Sweat. And then a week from Sunday is Matt Wildcard Henderson from Agnostic Front, Madball, The Eulogy, and so on and so forth. We got Maddie coming on the show. And then we got the Sunday, a couple days after that is the Planet of the Apes show. So we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. I want to thank everybody for being a patron. If anybody has yet, there's the PayPal, but it's really the Patreon page is where you want to be. That's where the shit's going down. Go check it out. There's different tiers, different stuff, all kinds of neat things going on. We're doing, when things settle, we're doing the Drew Stone Cinematic and Film Walking Tour of New York City. We're doing 10 questions, the New York Hardcore Chronicles 10 questions starring you, directed by me, and I'm releasing all kinds of great stuff. So please support the show. Go check on the Patreon. There's a $2 tier, a $5 tier, and so on and so forth. So please, you like the show, support the show. Let me see what else we got. Brian, thank you, Brian. Thanks for being so supportive, Brian. You were really above and beyond the Call of Duty. Thank you so much. So that said, let me bring on. Let me get some banners off here. Let me get them off. And let's bring Chaka back on, buddy. What's happening? And let's bring on Rat Bones and let's bring on Sid. Let's make it a party, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
What up?
Rat Bones, can we hear you?
You hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you good.
Yes, I'm great.
Not before there.
You're good. You got anything? You got anything for Chaka, Rat Bones?
let Sid go first.
Okay, Sid.
I got
Sid, you have the floor, Sid.
So Chaka, so obviously being a graffiti writer back then, what would you say was the best piece you've done citywide? Or should I say it was like the longest running that's been there for X amount of time?
Good question. And most of my shit wasn't really pieces. It was more insides. But probably just a few expo window down pieces. Retardo, and I know writers remember the Retardo cans. They came with like a calligraphy cap. They were like avocado green. Got them on Canal Street. Put up here. Got them on Canal Street, and that was my favorite can. We just used to do window downs with those, but not a lot of pieces for me with paint. That's definitely not. I'm not going to sit up here and try to act like I was skiing. That's for other folks to really live that life. But for me, mostly inside. I used to bump the A trains at Grant, as we said, the 2s and 5s, and also obviously 36th Avenue constantly.
Cool.
Yeah.
I got a question for Rat Bones.
Yeah. All right.
What's up?
How crazy do you have to be to do some of those balcony dives that you've done?
Passion before fashion, bro. That is the crown.
I did one dive off the balcony at the academy, but other than that.
Well, it's nice that we can still be alive in our heyday now. But listen, I got to say to you, Chaka, back in the day, I was always glad to see you at a show. I've known you for a long time, and I was always glad to see you at a show because you were the hardest dancer like me. I knew you from the pit before the band. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then the band sometimes. That camaraderie, I knew I could go off hard as hell because I had another brother that was equal to me or better. We just did what we did. It was
different, just rocking though.
Yeah. We all had our own style. All that you said about the hatchet. My go-to used to be like a little short piece of thick chain, right? Like I didn't want to really hit no one, but I was clearing house, making sure they stayed at bay. And then I also want to say to you, your orange 9mm had such an influence, and so many bands came out of that sound too, like Shift and Fahrenheit. Even I would say DOD, even D9. Some of those influences, that whole infusion of punk with not jazz per se, but like that energy, that same build-up that's taking you somewhere grand. Like you said, a bolt of energy.
Yeah.
And, I just really am happy to be your friend.
Well, same here, bro.
And I also want to say, as a real human being, you showed me kindness before on St. Mark's once when I was going through my stuff. And, that's what hardcore is really all about to us. It's a real brotherhood. You didn't look down on me. You were like, yo, man. And you didn't give me junk. You gave me nice gear, So, for that, love you, brother, always. And it's been great hearing you talk. And I got to guys because I was locked outside before. I feel so bad for the cause. I got to show the toy of the day again today. You don't like it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at this thing. Look how beautiful this guy is.
Wow.
You know about this guy, right? He's like a really, he's like, there's Kozik and him are the two biggest. And then
What's this guy called?
Cause.
Cause was huge writer.
Right. So that's why, this was meant to have right now for the show.
Wow, that one is fucking badass.
This guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got these off a street vendor in New York, man, which is like,
wow.
And I paid a little bit. I really don't think someone said they're bootlegs. I looked them up. One goes for $3,000. This one I'm holding. So
wow.
I think
it looks legit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks legit, bro.
Yeah, dude.
Those are beautiful.
He does Star Wars. He does all the style.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, that's Frankie Too Far shouting out Cause. Yeah, that's our boy Frankie Too Far.
And
absolutely.
What
up, Frank?
Get back into everyone watching's questions too. I just want to say the beauty of hardcore is that whole we're always growing. Everything that I strive for as a hardcore person to live my life, Now I do that and toy collect. Like it's a real thing to me. I live and breathe it every day. I'm hunting toys. Like I found these in the middle of a thunderstorm and popped them off, dude. That was it. These things were mine as soon as I seen them. I almost feel like I produced them to be there just as I was looking, just like that. So, you know.
Thank you, bro. I want to bring Steven on.
Hey,
And
what's up?
What did we call them in the yard, Chaka?
Work bums.
Are you a work bum, bro?
I don't know. I don't
No, I don't think he's not a work bum. Do you know what that does that word mean anything to you, Steven? Work bum?
Work bum. No, honestly, no. I've been on the railroad for 17 years. I'm not familiar with it.
See?
Maybe that's a New York City transit thing.
Yeah, it must be an MTA thing, not one on the railroad.
Yeah.
Well, I'm MTA. I'm MTA, but I'm on the LIRR side.
Hey, you're getting.
Well, that's what I meant exactly.
You're getting that new cap shouted out. What's that new cap, Steven?
This is Death Wish Coffee right here, and it's
Oh, nice.
I live on this stuff intravenously,
Wow.
and I
That's
love this
great.
hat. Another company that makes hats for people with giant heads.
Oh, I need that. I need that then.
I am. All that one size fits all stuff is a lie.
Giant Nordic heads.
I'm telling you.
Get home safe, Steven. And
I definitely will. This has been great. Chaka, excellent show. Great having you, you know.
Thank you, Steven. Thanks for having me, guys.
And
we'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk tonight, Steven. We're looking forward to the big show on Sunday.
oh yeah, absolutely. Hang on a second.
I'll talk
I'm
to
actually
you
pulling
later,
off the train
Steven.
right now. Hang on 1 second. I'm just getting off a train as I speak to you. Thank
All
you.
right, well,
There we go.
that's important. That's important for us to see. Yes.
Yeah, listen. I'm out here. You know, someone's gotta do it.
I'll talk to you later, Steven.
All right, take care, everybody.
Take care. Thank you. Hey, Sid, I'll talk to you later.
Alrighty,
Yo, peace, Sid.
Thanks for being a part of the show, and we'll see you on Sunday, huh?
definitely. And Chaka, thank you for doing the show today. It was really awesome to hear you, like your take on, especially what we all were going through back in the day, especially some of those old graffiti stories, which were the best.
Awesome. Thanks, bro. I'll see you around.
All right.
Rat Bones, thank you, brother.
Yo, Chaka, on the real though, a real true work bum would be one of those guys who live in those little houses in between the tracks. That's a true work bum. Because you know he ain't got nowhere to go. He works for the NPA, stacking up at the little camp and just watch yourselves out
Were
there.
there dudes that lived in those things?
I didn't know anybody lived in there, but
Yeah.
they do have little houses, kind of
Yeah.
shacks.
That's funny. That's what I thought when you were talking.
Hey,
It was
Chaka,
great.
here's something from our friend Lou DeBella. I got to get moving. Just want to say this, as I always try to in my interviews. Chaka, Burn Orange 9, and now Ghost has always been an important part of the evolution of hardcore and punk music in the 90s. He, along with those bands, Absolution as well, brought the music to a whole new level, which truly contributed to keeping it fresh and alive for many who were to follow after. A lot more to say, but I got to bounce. Much respect always, Chaka. True inspiration.
Yo, thank you, Lou. Much love, bro.
Yeah, Lou,
Much
Lou
respect.
DeBella.
Love.
Hey, Rappos, we'll see you later, right?
later, guys. Love you.
Peace. Much love. Peace,
Hey,
Rocco.
everybody.
Hey, before you go, we got like 3 minutes. You know, I want to put up one of these Mick Rock pictures, and I want you to
Okay.
explain what this is here. This isn't scan. This is a picture you sent me.
Correct.
But I guess these pictures took place. What's the story with these pictures?
Yeah, this is New York City, probably like 2004 or 5. Michael Chambers, shouts to Michael Chambers and Liz Vapp, who made that happen. Nick Rock, obviously legendary. You know, everybody knows him from the Bowie picks and his other classic rock picks. But at the time, I was doing something called Moving to America with Mike Chambers and Davide from Burn, a woman named Karen. Later, we had my friend Cash Tolman playing with us. And it was kind of that era of in between, kind of like the hardcore and figuring out what I could do outside of hardcore to kind of express myself, and that ended up another one. So these, I mean, and this is how I dressed, you know. So I was thankful to have those pics. You know, sometimes I wish I still had some hair. Peace out, Fakor. But you know, life calls.
Absolutely, yeah. Those are great. Mick Rock is
legend.
A legend. Absolutely. And you know what? This came up. I'm just kind of going through. This came up a few times. I want to put this one up. This is from a burn reunion at Coney Island High. You remember this?
Wow.
Yep.
It's hard to even see who's playing in the band.
I know. I see Gavin there. Like,
right. Is that Toby on stage with the Madball shirt? It looks like it.
Could
I think that's Fern. Fern would look like he's got an orange baseball cap or a do-rag.
It looks like there's some sort of beef going on in the crowd right there, you know?
I mean, well, those shows were just so fucking packed, man. I mean,
yeah.
Those shows were incredible. Shout out to Jesse Manlin and everybody else who made those venues possible, man. I think it's always important to shout out and respect. Also, shout out to Antidote. I mean, Antidote was a record that I had been looking for a very long time, and that record was like $50 when I was like go to Bleecker Bob's and try to buy it. So I mean, we all need each other to create the venues, the bands, the influence, to be someone in the crowd at a certain point. So you know, everybody's fucking necessary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow,
that's a good one, huh? And you know,
I like that.
And wait, hold on. If people are chiming in, you know, that show was amazing. Rest in peace, Coney Island High.
Yeah. What up, Chuck?
There you go. That's Fern with the orange hat.
Yeah.
That show was insane.
Yeah. What up, Nick?
You know, so there you go, man. Hey, I want to thank you a million for coming on the show, bro.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me a million. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it too, man. We had a lot of laughs and you know, it's great that we could do these shows and really not get into like some of the real bummy shit that's happening in the world right now. And we could just focus on, you know, our community and music and really have a couple of laughs because the world really needs that right now, you know?
I would agree. Thank you, Bernardo.
Yeah. So I'll talk to you soon, man. And once again, thank you.
Much love and respect. You're awesome. And everybody, as Drew shared, you know, definitely consider rocking with his Patreon or consider throwing a few dollars in there. You know, his show is really, really valuable. You know, as you can see from the, you know, the programming that he's had on the past and what he'll have in the future. And it really keeps our scene alive. And it really highlights just the importance of people deciding I'm going to create a platform to really share things that I care about with other people. So any way that we can support Drew and also, you know, support each other as we're looking at what up, Rai, looking to share energy and resonance that makes us happy. So let's all support each other in that sense.
Thanks a million, buddy. I love you. I'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. Peace. Love you too. Bye-bye.
There you go. Chaka, Malik, what a great show, man. What a great guy. Hey, Ryan Bland, I see you out there. Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. Rich Zoller, Joe James, the whole gang out there. Todd Hamilton, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for supporting the show. It means the world to me and to the community. I will see you on Sunday, where we will be live from the back room of the A7 with the plaque behind us and everything. Until then, do good things. Good things will come to you.